Hi, welcome to your stable friend. You, sadly, have been lied to. I was lied to. Many people are being lied to right now. This is a big lie. This lie is responsible for much of the mistreatment that horses receive. This is a big welfare issue. This lie rides on the back of a big welfare issue. And this lie is something that gives people, there's a reason for this lie. And this lie, there's a reason why this lie is being perpetuated, because it benefits some people to tell this lie and to have others believe this lie. That lie, and it's funny because I heard it really until not long ago, and if you Google it, people are still lying about it, blatantly, when there is so much research now. There is still this blatant lying going on about what I'm going to tell you. Are you ready to hear what it is? The horse's brain is not the size of a, are you ready? Walnut. My entire youth growing up, the horse's brain is the size of a walnut. The horse's brain is the size of a walnut. You know, the horse's brain is the size of a walnut. Oh, you know him and his walnut-sized brain. And then, of course, people couldn't wait to diminish the horse's brain even more, and then the horse's brain was the size of a peanut, which it is also not the size of a peanut. It is not the size of any nut. I mean, unless you want to talk about a coconut, and then it would be closer to the size of a small coconut. But as far as regular, tree nuts type of nuts go, it's not the size of any of those nuts. Do you know how much the human brain weighs? The human brain, average human brain, weighs about 3 pounds. And the average cat brain, I believe, weighs about 1/4 of a pound. The average dog brain, 3/4 of a pound. Do you know how much the average horse brain weighs? About 2 to 2.5 pounds. Not that much smaller than our brains. Now, there's some different questions about, well, brain size to body size ratio. Well, I would challenge any of you to go up to some big buff bodybuilding weightlifter who's 6'4" and weighs so many pounds of sheer muscle and tell them that you at 5'5" and 105 pounds are smarter than them because my body to brain size ratio is better. So that theory, I'd love to hear in the comments if anybody wants to make any sort of intelligent scientific, reasoning about brain size to body size ratio. So let's put that one aside because it's a little bit silly and just talk about some of the differences between the horse and human brain and some of the similarities. So their parts of their brain are larger than parts of our brain. And parts of their brain are a little bit less developed than parts of our brain. And that is very significantly based on their survival, the way that they survive and the way that we survive. So the way that they survive or have survived as a predator for a millennium and the way that we have survived as a prey animal are very different. And therefore, different parts of our brains are more developed than theirs, and they have more developed parts of their brain than we do. One thing I could not find in my research was, they say that we only use 10% of our brain. I don't know if that research has changed. That's the last thing that I heard, and that was a while ago. I don't know how much of a percentage that they believe that horses use of their brain, so there's another thing that I'd be interested to know about if anybody knows and could leave that in the comments. That would be fascinating. But what I do know is this. Horses are extremely smart. They have all of the parts of their brain that they need to be smart. It takes us how long to learn how to walk? It takes us like a year or longer to learn how to walk, where they are walking almost immediately. So that part of their brain, the coordination, the large motor skills, much bigger and much more heartily developed than ours. Also, too, once horses learn something, and they can learn things just as quickly as we can, Once they learn something, they never forget it. And we as humans, if we don't practice it regularly, we will forget it. They will not. What they say that horses lack is something in the part of their brain with not reasoning. They have plenty of reasoning, problem solving, all of those skills. But what they lack is the part of that we humans have that make us manipulative and make us criminals and make us grifters and make us try to pull the wool over somebody's eyes. They don't have that cunning. They don't have that cunning. A predator needs that kind of cunning. We need it for our survival. A dog needs that kind of cunning. Any kind of predator needs that kind of cunning. But prey animals don't necessarily need that kind of cunning. They need to be able to get away and have their body react to outside environmental stimulus. And they react to outside environmental stimulus, things around them, perceiving things around them that take us forever to notice. They're perceiving those things all the time and processing if it's a threat to them or it's not. So I would like to debunk right here and now, finally, once and for all, the horse's brain is not the size of a walnut. Unless you want to show me, and you know what, I will look this up myself. If there's any walnut that has ever weighed 2.5 pounds, I would like to see that 2.5 pound walnut. Maybe they need to have it like a roadside attraction, the 2.5 pound walnut, alongside with the, huge watermelon and squash or whatever. But I have never seen a 2.5 pound walnut. So the horse's brain is a lot bigger than probably what you've been taught. And they're probably a whole lot smarter than what you've been taught. And we need to, as I suggested last week, all of us, get on the internet. You probably have it. If you're watching this, you probably have the internet. Learn something about the horse. Learn something about their brain, about their neurology, about the way they think. And then apply that to your training. Apply that to how you engage with them. Apply that to your relationship with them. And understand that one of the horse's biggest concerns is survival. But that doesn't mean that's their only concern. That's just a lot of the times an overriding concern. So the more you can make your horse feel safe and loved, and that you are also happy that you have your horse's back as well, the easier and better any sort of training and relationship go. If you make yourself a force to be feared, then you are always standing in the way of your relationship and your training with your horse, because you're always having to worry about upsetting you or making you into that person that they have to be afraid of. If you don't show them that person, if you are the person that they trust, that they love, that they care about, that they're friends with, that you are family, you're a part of the herd, you're a trusted part of the herd, you will get a lot farther in your training than coming in wielding a whip and being the boss and having to be the leader. So, please spread the word. The horse's brain is not the size of a walnut. And we've been lied to, but it's not too late to bring out the truth. And certainly that can only help the horse in many, many ways. Thanks for watching. I'm your stable friend. Leave some comments, please subscribe, and like if you like. Thank you.